Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, which a lot of you might be, my name is Jess. It's nice to meet you. I like to talk about books and I like to read. So if you guys like to do that as well, make sure you guys subscribe and hit the bell right next to that so we can hang out again and talk about more books. All right, let's get to it. So today I'm gonna be doing my January wrap up, but I was thinking, let me just throw in just really quickly my December wrap up because there was a few books that I read in December that I really, 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 really loved. And I just want to talk to you guys about them. So let's start in December. And that first book that I finished in December, let me scroll back here. I have my Goodreads opened on my laptop here, so we're ready for that. Okay, the first book I finished in December is Arsenic and Adobo by Mansala Mia P. That is a murder mystery. It was so good. It really kept me engaged. It's about a girl who she goes back home, moves back home to help her family with their family business, which is a restaurant, their family restaurant. And her ex-boyfriend comes in who is a food critic, and he writes reviews, I guess, of different restaurants on online or a newspaper. I don't know, but he is like infamous in all of the family businesses because he kind of just trashes on them. And so he comes in to her restaurant and he dies, and they find out that he was poisoned. So automatically everybody's like, oh, it's your ex and he was eating at your restaurant, so you did it. So it's just really cool to see it like kind of develop and evolved and figure out what the mystery was. I did rate it 3 stars. Now that doesn't mean that it was bad. It didn't wow me. It was cute. It kept me entertained. I got through it. I think partially part of the reasoning behind why I didn't give it a higher rating was because I don't know. I feel like I'm just a romance lover at heart, and I was expecting her to kind of like at least make some sort of connection. Like it was kind of alleged that she was going to make a connection here or there, and she didn't. It is the first book in series, so maybe they'll like bring that up later, but maybe that's why I was disappointed in it a little bit. But other than that, like the story, the mystery, that was really good. Like the way it was resolved blew me away. I was so shook. So it was really good in the mystery aspect, but there was some things that just kind of left me hanging that I just was like, I needed more. I needed. All right, next book is The Yellow Wallpaper by Giliman Charlotte Perkins. This book, I read because I was trying to get more books into my reading challenge. I had a Goodreads reading challenge, so I was trying to meet it. It's a really short, quick read. It's about a woman who starts to kind of she has a depression, and it's set like way, way back in the day. So back then they didn't really know what that was. They didn't really know like how to take care of it, how to how to prescribe things for her to like do. So her doctor prescribed her to just be in a room and not leave and just get rest and kind of like get your mind straight, which we all kind of know that depression doesn't really, that's probably not really gonna help. But in the book, it's just her writing about how she feels and how like her depression develops throughout her time in this yellow room, or in this room with yellow wallpaper that she despises, and she just talks about that. It's really interesting. It's really fun if you guys need a quick read or just something like, I don't know, just something quick to kind of get through, or if you ever just kind of wanted to get in the mind of somebody who you love who kind of suffers with depression, this is kind of a way you can check it out and kind of see how they're doing, you know. And I rated this 3 stars as well because it didn't blow me away, you know. It was just a story and it was cute and I liked it and I didn't dread reading it. Like, I rushed through it. I think I read it in like a few hours. And it was I liked it, but it obviously didn't blow me away. It was just a quick read that I was trying to like just squeeze in. Okay, next book, or books. It's 2 books. These were the last 2 books I read in December, and they were fantastic. One of them was a reread, so that is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Rated at 5 stars. Let me just say that right off the bat. It's by San Benjamin Alir. I apologize for my pronunciation throughout this journey on YouTube. So let's just move on. The story is about Aristotle and Dante. They're kind of just kids who don't really belong anywhere. They don't really know where to kind of like squeeze in society, you know, like they don't really know how to, I don't know, make friends, I guess. But then they meet one summer and they just kind of hit it off and they just start hanging out. They become each other's best friends, and then it just kind of develops from there. And it's such a cute coming of age and just cute story in general. Very powerful. It's just so sweet. I just recommend it to everybody, and it's an easy read. So if you need like a book that you could buddy read with like, you know, like little brother, little sister, niece, nephew, younger person, then you can definitely check that one out. It's so good. I enjoyed it. Now, the other book that I read was Aristotle and Dante Dive into the Waters of the World. Long titles, very long titles. And this is just the second part of this duology, I guess. It had just come out. I was like, I need to read this. As soon as I got it, I reread the first one because I just kind of wanted to recap that, and then I moved straight into the second book. And let me tell you, I'm so glad I did this because it kind of just jumps in from one book to the next, and it just kind of keeps going, you know? So I do recommend you do that, but it was so amazing. I loved it. Like, I cried, and you know, if a book makes me cry, because not a lot of books can do that, it's getting 5 stars, and it got 5 stars. It was amazing. It was a beautiful wrap up to the story. I was not disappointed at all. It was like perfect. It's like the perfect second book or like finishing book to the story. Like I was pleasantly not surprised, but like it was just a pleasant wrap up. It was great. So no regrets, and will most likely read again. I also have to let people borrow that book because yeah, my friend recommended the first book to me, and I need to let her borrow the second one because she let me borrow her first. Now we're gonna be scooching into January. In January, I read 4 books, which is pretty bomb for me. Okay, last month I also read 4 books, but remember the yellow wallpaper one? That one was really short, really short. So kind of cheated there, but I'm very proud of myself. I did good reading this past month, and I think it's because I deleted my Instagram, Twitter, everything but TikTok, and I got a lot of reading done. So I'm proud of myself. Okay, so first book that I read was a Colleen Hoover. I don't know why that was like, my brain just did not compute. Colleen Hoover, November 9, straight up, like right off the bat, I rated it 3 stars. It was cute. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was a cute story. Like, there was nothing wrong with it, and there was nothing astonishing about it. Like, it didn't have me gripped and hooked or anything. It was just like, here's a romance. Here's a love story for you. And it was cute, and I got through it, and I probably will reread it, but it's not like I have to reread it. You know what I mean? Like, I can probably donate this book and move on with my life and just never read it again. But it was cute. I enjoyed the concept of November 9 and why it's called November 9 and why that date is so significant. The twist was a twist. It wasn't a twist that like, I mean, the twist was a twist and it had me shook, but like I got over it very quickly. It wasn't like a twist that like I was like, oh my God, for the like the longest, you know what I mean? By the time it came to like telling me the twist, I was just kind of like, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, but I enjoyed it. If you need like a quick love story, you know, something to kind of make you feel butterflies in this month of February, then you should definitely pick that one up because it was cute. Next book is The Magical Language of Others by E.J. Koh. And this book, I picked it up because I was in the middle of reading this other book that it was kind of dense and big and I needed something else. It's a memoir and it was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. It wasn't like the best memoir I've read in my life, but it was really interesting. So let me just explain it. She is a little girl from Korea? Yeah, Korea. Okay. So it's a book and she is from Korea, the author, and she tells the story of when her family kind of moved to the States, and why. And then her family, when she's a little older, her parents moved back to Korea to work, and she stays here in California or here in the States, and lives with her brother and continues on school. And it just kind of talks about how she dealt with that. It's written really nice. Like you get her letters from her mom and like you can read them. And then she actually majored in language or like translating and poetry. So it's kind of her journey of how she came to that, how she like decided that that was going to be what she wanted to do and study, and how poetry has impacted her life, and how being able to interpret and poetry, how they kind of go hand in hand. It was like really cool. I rated it 3 stars on Goodreads, but it was like a 3.5, you know what I mean? There was a lot. I mean, there's triggers, let me tell you. Eating disorder, depression. There was another one. I can't remember. But just make sure you guys know, like, there's triggers. It's really good to kind of read and go through it and kind of see the point of view of how her life was in Korea and back home, like when she would go visit her mom. It was kind of interesting to see. Next book. It's a 5-star. The next book, I got it because my life is chaos and I needed to clean out my house. And it's called You Have Too Much Shit by Thomas Chris, or Chris Thomas. I think they say it backwards. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, you have too much shit. And let me tell you, this book is literally just telling you all the shit that you have that you don't need and why you have so much of it. And it's funny. Like, it literally just made me laugh. And like I said, the reason I picked it up was because I was like, Jessica, you need to declutter. You have so much crap in your house. And you need to like just go through everything, get rid of things that you're obviously never gonna use or don't fit and things like that. And I read this book and it did definitely motivate me, but it also just made me laugh. And it's a really easy, quick read. So if you need help decluttering your life, it was pretty good. I think it was either free or was really, really cheap on iBooks. So you can check it out. But yeah, it just made me laugh. It was just... Next book that I read is The Lincoln Highway. It's actually right next to me right now, but I'm not gonna pull it out because there's books on top. The Lincoln Highway by Amore Towles, and I rated it 2 stars. It's a really long book, really, really long. It's about... There's 2 kids, the older brother and the younger brother, and the younger brother, the older brother has just served some time in like detention camp, kind of like jail, but not jail, you know what I mean? It's kind of like Camp Green Lake and holes. Like, but except they don't make them dig holes. They make them like work in the fields. Similar concept. So he gets out of there. He goes back home because his father has passed away, and he has guardianship of his brother. So they said, you know, you have good conduct. You're almost done with your sentence. I guess he had like a couple months left. So they're like, you're fine. Like, we'll just forgive it. You're like, we'll say you finished it up. Just go get your brother. You know, you've always been a good person here. So he goes back home to get his brother, and then his brother finds these postcards from his mom, who left them when the younger brother was a baby, like 1 maybe, and the other brother was like younger. I think he said he was like 10 or 9, something like that. And they're like postcards kind of going along the Lincoln Highway, which is a highway that stretches from the East Coast to the West Coast. So the brother's like, we need to go to San Francisco and take the Lincoln Highway just like our mom did, and we need to go track her down because, well, he kind of wanted to meet her. And then the brother kind of, at first he's kind of like not into it, but then he starts thinking of the business opportunities that he could possibly get over there. But then his friends from the detention camp run away and kind of show up, and it kind of just shows you their journey of life, kind of getting back into it and getting ready to, you know, set off into the thing. But the reason I was not into this, I don't want to ruin the whole book, but like the ending was just so finally, you know, like there was like probably 300 pages of me just going, okay, like, hello, like, do this, you know what I mean? And then also I got, like, it tells you a story from different points of views, which at first I thought it was just going to be the 2 brothers, and then it turned out to be the 2 brothers, the 2 friends, and then it added like 2 other people that they've met along the way, and I don't think it was necessary. I felt like it was such a waste of time. Like, they could have recapped this really quickly in one of their point of views. And I always tell myself, like, if it feels like a waste of time, it might tie in the end. Well, when I got to the end, I was like, not necessary, my dude. Some of the things weren't necessary. Some of the things were necessary, but it was so minuscule that it could have been said much more simply, and this book could have been way less, you know, hardcore and big. Let me just show you the book, because it took me a minute to get through it. Look at this. Look at this book. It's huge. I got it in Book of the Month. I felt like I was lacking certain adventures. I hated some characters, like, which could be a good or bad thing, but like in this case it was kind of bad. It's 576 pages. 570, that's almost 600 pages, okay? That's a freaking long ass book. And it just, I don't know, it just wasn't it for me. I was expecting something else from the synopsis, which is another reason why I'm like, kind of disappointed in it, you know? I don't like it when I'm reading a synopsis, and I don't always read synopsises. I do it sometimes. Is that the right way to synopsi? I don't know. So I read it, and it didn't go along with the synopsis. Like, I was expecting a completely different book, and I don't like surprises like that. There's surprises here and there, but like the book that I was expecting was just not met almost at all in this story, and that's disappointing. Like, it's different when it's like, okay, I didn't expect that, but it still kind of happened, and then I moved on. No, this book had absolutely nothing to do with the synopsis that I read when it first started off. So unfortunately, it's a true story. Well, thank you so much if you made it this far. Let me know what kind of books you read this past month, maybe even 2 months, and I will gladly check some of them out. I love book recommendations, so please recommend them to me. If you've read some of these books, or if you disagree with some of my ratings, leave it in the comments and let me know why. So yeah, If you want more videos like this, you should definitely subscribe and hit the bell right next to it so we can hang out and talk about more books. Once again, I'm Jess, and thank you so much for watching my video. It really means a lot. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.